The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Hello and welcome into Week 6 of the Mike Clowney Show. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, alongside Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Clowney, as Carson-Newman falls on its Hall of Fame weekend game to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears by a final score of 59-0. Mike Clowney, this one painful in a lot of ways. Things that haven't happened to Carson-Newman football since 1992. After the game, you said it was on you after I'm presuming not a night of sleep, a night of restlessness in all likelihood. What, if anything, could you have done differently?
You know, I think the big thing for us was going into this football game, we knew we were playing a good football team. And the things that, we didn't handle well, we didn't handle their tempo, the way we needed to. We didn't handle, they give offensively, their offense gives you so many different things, within one play that you've got to be able to see and diagnose. And, we've kind of went back to being a little bit more teaching tempo to make sure that we can learn and fit things up the right way. But then I think, Saturday the game moved probably faster than we prepared for it to. The
thing that stuck out was first drive, first down. I think of the first 6 plays that Lenoir-Rhyne ran, 5 went for first downs, and you were on your heels from that moment.
Yep, so that's what I was talking about with the tempo. They play fast. They, like I say, for example, they've got one play early in the game where they've got a guy going in motion, you've got zone going right, and you got a bubble going back out, to the other side. And we jump the bubble and lose the guy coming across in motion that they pitch the ball to. There's so many things happening. A lot of times when we're dealing with a young football team, the confidence is what really has to kind of play into those scenarios. You have to know what your job is, go do your job, and then go work to make plays. And we talk about it over and over again. But what we did was we allowed ourselves to kind of get isolated on islands, and that puts us in one-on-one tackling situations, and it kind of creates problems for us overall.
The sense from this one was that, you had moments in the first half where things started to go your way. Had some special teams moments where you had the ball in Lenoir-Rhyne territory, but offensively never could find that rhythm. What'd they do, especially with Dan Luba and Amari Houston up front, to take you out of that?
They're good up front. And, we've got young guys there that we think are going to be good, but, they had opportunity to play big boy ball yesterday. They played a couple guys that's older that's been doing it for a while, and, and you kind of get greeted with that moment. I thought their effort was there. I thought their want to was there. There's probably a spot that, yesterday they're probably just better than us.
Carson-Newman falls to Lenoir-Rhyne in Week 6 in the return home to Berktar Stadium. We'll break down the first half after these messages. This is the Mike Clowney Show. Back in the Mike Clowney Show as Carson-Newman falls at home to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. Mike, a contest where, this season you have made strides forward week to week. And I suppose for a young team, at some point there is going to be a regression. And it just so happened that the slippage comes against a team that was finding something on Saturday. Is that fair to say?
That's fair. I mean, Lenoir-Rhyne's still at a point to where, this conference is just wild right now. And, they still got at a point to where, they've got to fight to try to make themselves still a contender in the league. And, we're fighting for a win. And really, both teams are fighting, but we're kind of fighting on a little bit different levels right now. And that's one thing that we challenge our guys with is just, trying to find that groove and being able to, see what that feels like and get to the point to where, we can play back at that level.
You bring up the wildness of the league, and I think that's certainly something that was apparent on Saturday. The late game of the night, Barton takes down an unbeaten and top 10 Wingate team. Granted, Barton's just a scheduling alliance member this year. They'll become an associate member next year. But the results in this conference consistently have been insane this year. How difficult has that made it to know what to expect week to week?
I think from a coaching standpoint, it gets frustrating because, as coaches, you want to be able to kind of like go be in that picture. And you want to, be able to kind of go and talk about what's happening with everyone else. But right now, our focus has kind of primarily been on us and just trying to put together, the best thing that we can put together each week. And so it's kind of like an outlier right now when you look at it.
First half, you gave Trey Mitchell a little run at quarterback. How much of that was, let's see what he can do? How much of that is protect LaMarcus Brown's confidence?
LaMarcus, coming the beginning part of the game, there's just some things that, we felt like he was struggling with. And so that's one thing to talk to coaches about. A lot of times, coaching and players, like we have to use getting guys in and out of the game as a tool, not necessarily a punishment. I remember coming back and coaching linebacker, and one thing I had a guy tell me as a linebacker is like, Coach, we appreciate you allowing us to kind of play through our mistakes. And sometimes, we have to be able to use that as a tool to get a guy out of the game, especially young guys. And I don't think we've done that enough. Get a guy out of the game so that we can coach him, correct him, and help him see what's going on and still give him an opportunity to go back and be able to play.
Eagles were down at the halftime break to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. We take a look at those first half highlights. McGee behind Willingham. Hand off McGee straight ahead. McGee makes one-man miss at the line of scrimmage. Gets hit at the 3. Drags the pile into the end zone. Touchdown, Lenoir-Rhyne. McGee was hit a yard upfield, but moving those legs drives the pile into the end zone. So Willingham out of the pistol. Takes, play fake, rolls right, throws right. Wide open, Parsons makes Brian Payne miss, and he's off to the races. Parsons inside the 20 and 10. Parsons races to the house. Touchdown, Lenoir-Rhyne. 40 yards to the air, and with that pass, Grayson Willingham becomes LR's all-time leader in passing yardage. Bears up 2 scores. 13 forward, right boot, and Dudley will get a crack at this one. Receives it at the 10 from between the hashes. Reigning D2 Special Teams Player of the Week, bounces it out to the right side to the 30 and 35, makes one-man miss past the 40, and Dudley dragged down out of bounds near midfield by Leggett up at the 48-yard line. Brown in the gun. Brown takes the snap, throws it. Kelly, left side, in and out of his hands, incomplete. Had Romaine Kelly uncovered, wide open. Brown dumps it in. A smidge too far in front of Kelly. Falls off of his hands for an incomplete. Too wide to the wide side right. Willingham will chuck a screen to the right. Great play by Jalen Anderson. Shed his block and slings down Jordan Payne in the backfield. Back at the 47-yard line. That is in white jersey tops and black pants. 3rd and 9. Willingham back to pass out of the gun. Complete to Clark. Good move at the 40. Clark splitting the hashes. Runs into Cam Ellis at the 21. And he's brought down to the boundary left side. Down at the 20. 4:45 to play first quarter. 14-0 Bears the lead. They're in the red zone. 1st and 10. Handoff straight ahead McGee. McGee shakes through 2 tackles at the line of scrimmage. Kicks it out to the right side. And wins the foot race to the end zone. Touchdown, Lenoir-Rhyne. McGee gummed up in the backfield, but he got the hot feet, the high knees, stepped out of a couple tackles, and then burst it to the right sideline to score from 20 yards out. Bears up 20-0
4:31 to play in the first quarter. Sullins to the right, Dudley to the left. This is going to be a pooch kick to E.J. Davis at the 30. He's pushed from behind by Daquan Dudley, and he's off to the races along the left sideline. Inside the 30 in LR territory, and shoved down from behind by Thomas at the 27-yard line. Stack the box on 3rd and 10. Bring pressure up the middle, but LR picks it up. Throws it left sideline. That is picked off. An interception by Carson-Newman. Jackson Ward able to haul it in for the Eagles and set the Eagles up with 1st and 10 from the Lenoir-Rhyne 45-yard line. Some sudden change from Jackson Ward, who seizes the interception on the pass out to the flat left side. Brown on 1st and 10. Zone read keeper right side, and Brown has running room. He's across the 30, cuts back left over the sack logo, and gets brought down at the 26-yard line by Blandy. Brown out of the gun. Takes the shotgun snap at the waist, stands in the pocket, throws it left sideline. Kelly, jump ball at the end zone. That is picked off by the Bears' Palmer. Palmer along the right sideline, keeping his feet in bounds across the 20 and 30, but he's shuffled out up at the 36-yard line. Jump, Willingham out of the pistol. Will give McGee, cuts back right and has one man to beat, and he does. McGee across the 20-15-10. McGee slows it up as he crosses the goal line. Touchdown, Lenoir-Rhyne. 49 yards for Dwayne McGee. McGee to the left of Willingham in the gun. Takes, hand off McGee right side. Eagles bottle that one up. McGee goes down for a loss. Trezell Giardini-Weish, the first man there, stops him back at the 23-yard line. Bears toward the right hash at the Eagle 11. Willingham out of the gun, throws the screen. Left side, Carter. He is caught in the backfield, and Carter dropped for a loss back at the 15. A good, hard hit from behind by Justice Alexander. All ball on for what is a 32-yard attempt from the left hashes. Wind is in his face as he kicks it up and pushes it wide to the right. So the Bears misfire on the 32-yard field goal. Mitchell out of the gun with Dindy to his left. Takes the shotgun snap. Mitchell slings it to the left boundary. That's complete to Romaine Kelly on a curl route up at the 33-yard line. Shelton knocks him down, but it's 11 yards through the air, and the Eagles move the chains for just the second time today. 1st and 10 Bears from inside the red zone. Hand off McGee right side. Hughes through a hole across the 10 and 5. And McGee, for the 4th time, has found pay dirt. Touchdown, Lenoir-Rhyne. 34-0. Bears lead it. 4th and 5 here in the second quarter. Mitchell back to pass, back pedals, chucks it right sideline. Westfield, jump ball. A lot of hand jostling, but it's an incompletion, and the Eagles turn it over on downs. This from 41, wind in his face from the left hashes. Snap back, hold is down, and the wind really got a hold of that one. Good Lord. Pushed way wide to the right. And that is how the first half comes to a close.
Those are the first half highlights. Mike Clowney, a couple of positive moments from this one, and they come from your special teams. I don't know what four-leaf clover Antonio Goss has found, but Jaden Sullins, E.J. Davis, and Daquan Dudley all have returns longer than 35 yards in that game, with LR trying to do everything in their power to kick the ball, to not kick the ball to the reigning National Special Teams Player of the Week, and yet kickoff returns pretty fabulous. What can you say about that unit and what they gave you a chance to do?
You know, I think it speaks a lot to what you can do when there's something that you truly believe in. You know, those guys have kind of bought into the fact that, you know, we can return kicks. And, you know, they believe every time the ball's kicked that we have a chance to score or get the ball down, you know, close into our own territory. And so, like, they believe that every time that, you know, someone kicks the ball to us, that something special is going to happen. And because of that belief, they go out, they give extraordinary effort up front, they make blocks, the returners. You know, it's amazing, like, the big deal on that was, like, just to watch the back returners get in front of EJ and create one or two blocks that, you know, kind of springing because, you know, they bought into the fact that, you know, they believe we can make kickoff returns.
I don't think I've ever seen an up man take 185 yards and nearly house it. And the run jump started by Daquan Dudley barreling into his back almost to give him like a little boost start for professional racing or something.
And it's fun because like there you can see a team concept within that unit, and that's really what you try to grow the entire team into.
Another freshman makes a play, Jackson Ward, his first career pick, and a really nice move came off of his receiver, provides help, and gets an interception. What can you say about that play?
You know, Jackson's freshman, and he's going to be a really good player. You know, I think there's points and times, you know, and he's played the last 2 weeks. You know, the biggest thing I know Coach Goss has challenged Jackson with is, you know, working and being competitive because he has the skills and abilities. And that was the thing I think that really showed on that play, you know, when he kind of, you know, made his break. He was aggressive on the football to be able to make that play. And, you know, that's what you have to do in order to have long-term success at this level.
All right, Carson-Newman falls to Lenoir-Rhyne by a final score of 59-0. We'll break down the second half after these messages. This is the Mike Clowney Show. All right, back of the Mike Clowney Show as Carson-Newman falls to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears in Week 6 of the 2021 college football campaign. I'm Adam Cavalier alongside Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Clowney. Mike, halftime, trailing at the break, had sort of gotten things settled after LR burst out for 28 points in the first quarter, held them to 7 in the second. What was your message in the halftime locker room?
It's 0-0. You know, anytime you kind of dig a hole for yourself like that, you know, the thing that you have to be able to do is you have to find a way to get back on level ground. And so, you know, our goal was the game was 0-0, just like it always is when you come out of half. And we wanted to win the second half. You know, you hope you can come back out and win at 42-35. But, you know, that was the message.
The amazing thing to me is your team kept fighting. There was still effort shown late. Now, again, LR still had some chutzpah to itself, but it never felt like your team exactly laid down.
You know, that's who we are.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing that, you know, that standard is like, you know, we're not going to allow one another to lay down. We had a couple seniors that, you know, got excited on the sideline, and, you know, some of that we handled the right way, some of that we didn't. But, you know, that's what you have to have in order to kind of get to where you want to. That's what we talked about, you know, before the game. You know, we're going to go out and we're going to fight for 4 quarters regardless of what the score is. And, you know, that's something that you can take from the game that, you know, that you can be proud of, that the majority of our guys stuck in there and they fought for 4 quarters.
You look at this one moving forward. How do you avoid letting a game like this beat you twice?
Well, we just can't afford to. And that's the thing that we talked about in the locker room. You know, we're going to go play a team this week that's just as good, if not better. And, you know, we aren't going to have a letdown. Like, we're going to get right back to the drawing board on Monday, you know, and if we're going to find a win, we have to keep fighting.
Who surprised you in this game?
I was really pleased with EJ Davis. You know, the kickoff returns. You know, EJ's kind of been waiting in the wind, wanting his opportunity, and he's done it the right way. You know, he's been patient. You know, at the same time, he comes in and works every day to get better. You know, anytime he's asked to go on the field and do something, he goes out and performs to the best of his ability. He gets the kickoff return. We put him in. He finally gets a couple plays on offense, and he makes the most of his opportunity.
Carson-Newman falls to Lenoir-Rhyne in Week 6. We take a look at those second half highlights.
Dudley was short. Instead, they drive it deep to Davis, who fields it at the 6. Davis across the 20 and 25, splits the hashes across the 40. A man to beat. Davis along the right sideline, across the 30 and 25. Parsons with a beat on him, grabs him from behind. Davis drags him down inside the 5, and he's forced out of bounds down at the 7, officially out of bounds. So, Eagles tried to hide Daquan Dudley. Doesn't matter. E.J. Davis takes it 82 yards down to the 8. McGee the game as the pistol tailback. Takes the handoff left side. Start and stop move. Picks his way to the left side of the line. McGee leaning for the end zone, and he's there. Touchdown, Lenoir-Rhyne. 5 scores for Dwayne McGee. All the Eagles right hash at Lenoir-Rhyne 26. Brown out of the gun. Takes the snap. Rolls the pocket left. Throws left. In and out of the hands of Troy Dindy. Incomplete. Maybe a paw on it from Jimmy Palmer. Regardless, it's an incompletion. Eagles turn it over on downs with Davis behind him. Play fake to Davis. Willingham will chuck it long to Lester. Lester will run under it at the goal line, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Lenoir-Rhyne. Lester lost in the shuffle. Parks it at the goal line, hauls it in. Down 5 to go for the Bears. Anderson hands off Lane again left side. Lane with a cutback lane across the 40 and 30. Shifty move left, stays on his feet, now takes a stumble down to the 25-yard line, and a flag flies at the end of the play. This may be a face mask, and he has Lane off of his right hip. Anderson, design draw across the 10. The 5 has a blocker. Anderson reaches for the end zone, and he's there. Touchdown, Bears. Anderson calls his own number on the design quarterback draw and houses it from 12 yards out. Bears up 55-0. 2nd and 8 for the Eagles. Right hash at their own 47. Brown out of the gun, drops back to pass, has time, unloads over the middle of the field for Westfield. That is batted into the air and intercepted by Alvin James. James ranging back to the right. Westfield tries to strip him, and he is brought down between the hashes up at the 33-yard line after the pick. The 2nd turnover of the day for Carson-Newman, and for a 25-yard try. Snap is back, hold is down, the kick is on the way, and this time Alba is true. 59-0. Lenoir-Rhyne the lead. 8:47 to play in the 4th quarter. Those are the second half highlights from Carson-Newman's Week 6 loss to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. When we come back on the Mike Clowney Show, it's time for our Eagles Spotlight. That's after these messages. Back on the Mike Clowney Show. Now it's time for our Eagle Spotlight. And this week, Michael Watrang puts it on the return man and National Special Teams Player of the Week, Daquan Dudley.
The coronavirus pandemic has given student athletes around the country an extra year on the playing field. Perhaps nobody in the nation has a more unique story than Daquan Dudley. In 2015, he began his playing career at McKendree, where he played for 2 seasons. From there, he transferred to Texas A&M Commerce to run track and needed a tryout to make the football team. In 2020, he arrived at Carson-Newman, his final destination. Through all of the obstacles, why did he keep going in pursuit of his dream?
I never gave up. That was one thing. You never give up. I saw the potential. I saw my vision. I never gave up on it. Kept believing in myself. Kept praying. I just wanted to stay healthy and make my mama proud, my little brothers proud. They keep me going. They look up to me. My little brother play at EIU, play middle linebacker, All-American. He's shining. So I'm like, I got to keep motivating him.
Dudley saw the fruits of his labor on October 9th when he became the 11th player in Division II history to return 2 kickoffs for a touchdown. Averaging 42 yards per return, he is 2nd in the nation in kick return average. Special teams coordinator Antonio Goss said the keys to being a great return specialist is hand-eye coordination, speed, and a mindset.
He brings a lot to the table. Just like I said, he's got a very good speed, has great athletic ability, and you just put him in the places where a ball handler is needed, you know, as a return man. His side and his speed sort of is that determining factor right there. You put him in there with a group of guys that want to block for him, open up holes, and if someone is not in the gap, he has the speed to hit it before the door shuts.
In the game against Catawba, he broke a 39-year-old Division II record for kickoff return average in a game. While some may not have expected Dudley to produce an effort worthy of a National Player of the Week honor, his work ethic provided a motivational tale for others in a similar situation.
I'm not really surprised because I worked for it and it was my time to shine. I shine. So I'm like, it's my time. It's time to show what I can do. It's a reason why I'm here. No matter the situation, you don't give up on what you want to do. You pray, like I said, God is the main reason. Just pray about it. Don't stop, just keep going. And don't think negative, think positive out of every situation. And that's how I just relate to life. I think positive out of any situation, any negative situation, I got a positive way out of it.
The 2021 Eagles are a young group and need leaders. With Dudley's life experience, Goss sees an individual that has given the rest of the flock someone to emulate when given a chance to seize an opportunity.
He has a want, he wants to be good. He puts in that extra work, and I think that right there, shows that, hey, he's willing to go that extra mile, and I think other players can see that. When other players see somebody wants to go that extra mile, they don't mind straining a little bit more for certain type guys.
His teammates gave the senior the moniker Houdini for his ability to make magic on the field. It's a nickname that he embraces. Through 3 schools, 6 years, and a laundry list of doubters, Daquan Dudley's determination and stick-to-itiveness has made the senior one of the best return specialists in the nation. For the Mike Clowney Show, I'm Michael Watring.
All right, thank you very much, Michael Watring, Mike Clowney, Daquan Dudley. He's done things not seen in the college football game, period. And tough sledding for him when a 40-yard return hurts. His average on the year against LR. What can you say about the job he's done? When you thought Devon Moore was going to be the guy, he's been hurt for the majority of the year, to come in and use that top-end speed to take some kicks back.
I think that's one thing with Dudley when you look at him, he's a grad transfer that came in, so we only got him for 1 year. He was here during the COVID, so we were able to spend a little bit more time with him than we normally would have been able to do. But this year when he comes in, he comes in, he does track and football, very similar to Devon. He's on a 4x4, I think, national championship team, before he transferred in. So you knew he was a guy that had speed. Dudley is still learning a lot of football. And a lot of those returns were kind of testament of like some of the things that, he's picked up, along the road. And then, like I say, another part of it is like the guys up front are really, they know if, they get blocks, he's got a chance to score.
All right, move past this one. Again, you alluded to it earlier. Road doesn't get any easier traveling to Setzler Field, which has been a really hard place to play for Carson-Newman football this last decade. But I think what you said in the postgame is probably accurate. It's got to be about Carson-Newman at this stage in the game.
It does, and that's what we're going to continue to keep it about. At some point when Carson-Newman clicks, then, we can go beat Newberry, we beat Lenoir-Rhyne, we beat anybody on the other sideline. But we've got to make sure that we get Carson-Newman to the point where Carson-Newman's clicking the way Carson-Newman needs to click.
How frustrating is it for you, these experiences, knowing the standard of what this program and what it's about on both sides of the football? And I'm not just I'm talking about the actual football game and the spiritual side. You've got the one side right, but yeah, I know you want the other side right too.
And that's where we talked about this back in the spring. It's I heard our coaches talk, before the game, and you look at the players on the sideline, and Scott Brock alluded to what the traditions have been, here for over 30-something years, and and you start looking around the room, there's not a lot of guys that that can comprehend that at this point. And so we've had to go back and do some teaching about the history of this program, and help them kind of understand why the coaches are getting dunked when they beat Carson-Newman, and the scoreboard people are taking pictures in front of the scoreboard, because it's easy for us just to walk off the field and not really know what we've been interjected into, and that's where we talk about the spiritual stuff so much, and that's where you talk about, we're finding some wins there, but, it's not until we truly find the wins there that we need, that guys understand how to play the way that we want them to play. We talk to guys about, playing unselfish and playing for Christ and playing for the guy beside you, which is not normal because, most of the world tells us we need to do this for us and it needs to be about me. And, we're challenging guys to do something different because we believe long term, it's going to pay off better for them. We heard that at the Hall of Fame banquet, to where, over and over and over, the people that were inducted into the Hall of Fame talked about their coaches being invested in their lives, not just their playing careers. And so that's what we're about, and that's what we're going to continue to do, and we're going to keep, that's what we talked about, being under construction, and the biggest thing we want to do is make sure the foundation is good and the foundation is there, and as long as we've got a good foundation, we're going to be able to build something special.
I think it speaks the world that you have a guy such as a Jabez Floyd who is, I don't know if the cameras do him justice, but truly a mountain of a man with hands that could probably crush a watermelon single-handed. He is a gigantic human being, and to watch him give his testimony and tear up talking about what Ken Sparks meant, what all those people who have been around this program have meant to it, is what this place is about at its core, and that's what you have kept intact.
Yes, and so that's where we talk about that being the overall foundation. Like we're gonna be about Christ's business. And, we've got to find guys that are open to doing that so that we can get back to where we want. I think the majority of our football team understands that. A lot of that is going to be, persistent on our part. Like, we're not going to change. Like, that's who we are. That's what we're going to do. I'll lay on the sword there. Like, I just believe in that. I believe in what we do here from a spiritual standpoint. And so, we're going to continue to challenge our guys to not just grow as football players, but grow in that area.
Mike Clowney, pleasure as always. We'll talk to you next week against the Wolves.
Looking forward to it.
That's Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Clowney. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier. This has been the Mike Clowney Show. Thanks for watching.